Chris and Cash Show,
Brought to you by
Shattered Reality Radio.
Chris and Cash Podcast.
It's Friday, January 20th, 2017.
Oh, we got Tomoto back to the basement.
Now, just for this week.
Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, I know. This is going to be added later, but no more 0.0, Chris. We know the Patriots...
No more 0.0. I mean, it is impossible for the Texans to win at this point, but you can't keep putting 0.0s
No,
on
not this week, because I've been telling you all year, and we're going to get into all the games, and we're going to lay down the format, but let me just say this first. You can go back to September, you can go back to our emails, you can go back to this podcast. The one team that in the AFC that I said could come to New England and win in January is the team you see in the
I never disagreed with you.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
I will change a little bit of what I will say something different later, not to that effect, but I will say something adding to that later. But what we're going to do is we're going to review the games.
Yep. So the first segment, we're going to review all the games. We're going to end off with the Patriots game. We're kind of going to briefly go over the other three, and then we'll get into the other games.
Knowing our audience.
Right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the Antonio Brown live stream on Facebook situation.
And the Roger Goodell not coming to Foxborough.
Is that really? Are you even surprised?
No, and a little bit of other NFL news.
Yeah, we got some other NFL news. We're not going to get to the Baseball Hall of Fame. We're going to save that for next week. This is just going to be a football week, but we will get to it.
Yep, no basketball talk either. And no hockey talk.
Yeah, this is
or soccer, because Scotty hates the football.
I hate European football.
That's what I mean.
We're going to get into comments about Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. We're going to get to both of those. That's going to be in our third segment. And our final segment is we're just going to discuss the game on Sunday. Well, the games on Sunday. We're going to go over Atlanta and Green Bay as well. But, Chris, we'll come back to the Pats and Texans.
First of all, great weekend of football.
Pretty good.
Comparatively?
Compared to the week before, you're damn right. That was awesome.
Plus, all these games, for the most part, relatively competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, two of them were really good. The Sunday games were really good.
Green Bay-Dallas game was the best game, I thought. My opinion.
It's odd. I feel like it was, but I don't think the Chiefs... I think you could argue the Chiefs-Pitt was that good of a game as well. It didn't have the theatrics of a great throw, but...
The worst game, honestly, because the Patriots game was a game really, like, into the third quarter. The worst game was Atlanta and Seattle. The thing was 19-10 at the half and was really over early. But I do want to start... We're going to start off with the Patriots' opponent on Sunday night. Pittsburgh going into Arrowhead, beating them 18-16. We're going to give you a couple of the numbers here. Big Ben was...
20 of 31, 224, 0 touchdowns, and an interception.
The rating is 72.5. Not Ben Roethlisberger numbers, but...
And I want to make a comment here. This is pretty common for him on the road this year.
This year, right.
He's had... You and I like to look at quarterback home road splits. Mm-hmm. That's one of the reasons I always pump up Brady, because he is basically the exact same quarterback at home or on the road.
And then you have someone like Russell Wilson, who's like unbelievable on the road and like mediocre at home.
But then you have Aaron Rodgers and Peyton, where they're incredible at home and they suck on the road.
Aaron Rodgers doesn't suck on the road.
He drops like 30 QB percentage points.
He's a very good
QB rating points.
He's a very good quarterback on the road.
He goes from 125 to like 95 though. Like that's not. That's like superhuman to
where you got
pretty good.
Brady's around 100 on home and road.
Right. He's like mid 90s to 100 all the time at each.
Which is out of character because Ben's usually pretty damn good on the road. I mean, granted, like he's playing Cleveland twice a year, but still.
Plays them both times on the road?
Yeah. They're both really, we're going to give you
the Cleveland Browns, they just get all home games.
They would still go 1-15. All right. Alex Smith, check down Charlie, was 20 of 34, 172, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, a rating of 69.7.
He didn't have a bad game, though.
He didn't have a good game. That's my point.
Did he lose him the game?
He did not lose him the game. He couldn't win them the game. He was incapable of winning the game.
See, but look, that holding call...
That's the rap on Alex Smith. That was a hold.
Okay.
It was a hold.
But you're one of those... This is what I want to tell you here. You're one of those people that normally argue that you can't call that. It's a fourth quarter, 2-point conversion in a very big playoff game. You can't call that there. No, I'm the guy that always says, if it's a hold, it's a hold, it's a hold.
Chris is referring to Super Bowl 47.
Right. Where San Francisco still should have won because it was a hold. If it's a hold, it's a hold.
Look, it probably was a hold, but my whole point then and now and forever will be that the ball was uncatchable. The ball was uncatchable.
You don't know that because he was held. He could be 4 more yards down the field if he wasn't held.
He would have had to stop on a dime and jump 15 feet.
My point here is most people are like you and they think things like this shouldn't be called. So if you're gonna call this,
Chris,
you better call everything every
He
play.
bear hugged him and threw him to the ground. It was a
It
hold.
wasn't that bad.
It was.
He grabbed his neck on the way by. He didn't bear hug him.
It was egregious. He held him.
Compared to some things, it wasn't egregious.
I know.
On a scale of 1
I
to
know
10,
what you're gonna say. You can call that on every play.
correct.
And
You
probably
really could. Just by watching. Listen, I'm not even a big fan of this man anymore, and I wasn't a huge fan of him when he was even on the Patriots. Chandler Jones. That happened to Chandler Jones 7 times a game, every single game. Probably still happens to him every game. Okay, where someone grabs him by the neck from behind and pulls him down on his way going around somebody.
Is this with or without the synthetic weed?
It's both. He's high out of his mind. He doesn't know what he's doing, but they pull him down by the neck, okay? My point is, you could call this legitimately on almost every play. This thing's as bad or worse than that on almost every play. Yeah, it looked pretty bad. It's all about the look for these holding calls. Like, there was a call on the Patriots on Solder. He didn't hold.
No, that was bad.
It just looked like a hold. This looked worse than it was for Fisher. I agree it probably should have been
Did
called.
they get a field goal on that drive?
I don't remember. But the point is, you can't call that just because it looks really bad if you're not going to call that all the time.
But the Fisher hold on James Harrison was only part of the story. Travis Kelce went off.
I love
after
Kelce.
the game.
Kelsey's pretty good, man.
This is a quote. 51, referring to the ref, shouldn't ever be able to wear a zebra jersey again. Shouldn't be able to work at a fucking Foot Locker. He had 2 huge drops. Catch the ball and shut up, and it was a hold.
I know.
They still could have stopped them on 3rd down. And by the way, Andy Reid, when we're going to get into Andy Reid just being abysmal with clock management.
Well, he
He's the
is.
worst of all time.
I don't think he is.
They had no time.
He's not the worst of all time.
He's
I mean, you
pretty
got
bad.
guys like Norv Turner. Like, you got a lot of pretty bad.
Principal Seymour.
I'm trying to think of, like, other coaches that you just look at them and they have no idea what's going on. Like Jim Caldwell. There's a bunch of really bad coaches.
Almost
okay?
won a Super Bowl.
Marty Schottenheimer. There's a bunch of coaches that you see them and you're like, what is this man doing? I'm not saying Andy Reid isn't in that category.
I'm not even. This isn't going to be a bash, Alex.
Tom
Smith.
Coughlin most of the time looks like he doesn't know what's going on with the clock.
Yeah.
He won 2 Super Bowls, but most of the time on the sidelines he looks like a little confused elf. Like, I remember the best game was it was really cold. He had
Green
wind
Bay
chill,
one.
and his whole face. Yeah,
Looked like Santa Claus.
He just looked like he had zero idea where he was. Okay, he was smoking some of Chandler Jones' synthetic weed.
Well, I mean, the guy was probably dying of hypothermia. He's like
Probably.
70. Look, you can't win a Super Bowl with Alex
I
Smith.
disagree.
You can't win a Super Bowl with him.
He's mediocre.
You can't.
Flacco Eli.
He can't.
Flacco Eli.
He cannot throw the ball.
Big Ben when he
downfield.
was young. Flacco Eli.
They can throw the ball downfield. Alex Smith, for whatever reason, can.
Listen, if he had a better coach and probably a slightly better team, they could win that game, and then they could
I think
continue
you
to win.
could give him the best offensive line in the league and a 25-year-old Randy Moss, and he still couldn't throw downfield.
Oh, dude, anyone can throw downfield to a Randy Moss. You just put it up and he catches over 3 dudes in his prime. Depends. Randy went healthy and motivated. Better than everybody
Rice.
ever.
Better than Rice, yeah.
Better than Rice and Gronk combined if you merge them into one player.
Gronk might be the best offensive player I've ever seen.
Not Randy downfield.
Yeah.
When Randy wanted, the difference is Gronk always wants to play. When Randy wanted to play, he was a video game. That's why 2007 was so incredible, because Randy was motivated and he was just like, because most of the time Randy, even in his good seasons, would take off 3 out of 4 plays if he didn't think the ball was coming to him.
Maybe.
It's completely different if Randy's
All right.
motivated.
So Le'Veon Bell had another stellar game. Dude's a beast. He had 170 yards on 30 carries. Antonio Brown was 6 for 108, but Pittsburgh was kept out of the end zone, kicking 6 field goals.
Field goal's not going to beat the Patriots.
Not going to beat him.
Nope, they're not.
Not going to beat him. So red zone defense. Is
I don't
gonna
think the
be
Pats got the
big,
tougher
big,
matchup.
big.
I see that you put those notes here. I'm going to tell you why.
I think they did.
the only thing that can derail the Patriots is a
Physical
solid defense.
offensive line, getting pressure up the middle, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
A physical defense. I don't think
I
Pittsburgh's
know what you're
going to
gonna.
be able to do
I know what
this.
you're gonna say. They're not gonna lose a shootout to Pittsburgh, right?
If you look at the playoffs, in the history of the playoffs with Brady Belichick, they've lost 1 shootout.
The 06.
06
Colts game.
AFC Championship game. And that was like half the team was dying of the plague, and like then a bunch of bullshit happened, and they coughed up a huge lead. Okay? Let's go to
Falcons defeat the Seahawks 36-20.
kind of a meh game. Like you said.
Yeah.
It was a good game, but it wasn't great.
They pulled away late. Matty Ice was playing like the MVP. I'll tell you.
Phenomenal. I thought he was the best quarterback of the weekend.
I would say
Better than
so.
Rodgers. I know
would
Rodgers
say
had
so.
the big moments.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that ad nauseum. Matty Ice, 26 of 37, 338, 3 touchdowns, no picks, rating of 125.7. It's about 30 shy of perfect. Russell Wilson was good, but he just
Russell Wilson was okay.
he was 17 of 30.
That Atlanta defense is playing
225,
better recently.
2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, a rating of 75.
Coleman and Freeman are a beast tandem.
Well, they combined for 102 and 25 and a touchdown.
And they catch the ball, too.
Right. The only problem you're going to Atlanta's going to have going forward is the availability and the
Julio
health of,
Jones
Julio
completely.
Jones.
He's not even on the injury report anymore. They took him off today.
Those toe things linger.
They took him off. He's had toe issues for a long time, but they took him off.
I'm sure playing inside in the dome doesn't help.
No.
He had 6 catches for 67 yards and a touchdown. You know, ho-hum for him. So they're going to be hosting the Packers on Sunday at, I think that one's at 3:30. And bottom line is, in this game, for
Is it at
Seattle...
3:30? I thought it was 2 something.
I think it's like
Is
after
it 3:30?
It's after 3.
I can't remember.
Seattle's D isn't the same without Earl Thomas.
Not at all. And I told you that. I think Earl Thomas is the best secondary player in the whole league.
He's probably the best safety in football.
Maybe he's at worst the second best safety that I've seen like as an adult.
Ed Reed.
Ed Reed. He might be better than Reed. It's close. And he's up there with Reed and Ronnie Lott. I only saw a little bit of Lott.
I think Lott's the best safety you ever played, but I didn't see him enough.
I know. I think Lott, Reed, and now Earl Thomas are the 3 best safeties ever. Okay? He's literally on their level. He's better than Polamalu. He's better than Atwater. He's better than anyone else you can name. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even trying to down everyone else that played in the history of
Rodney
the
Harrison,
sport,
John Lynch. I mean, there's a
all
lot
of
of
them.
good ones.
He's better than all of them. He really is.
But I never saw enough of Lott.
I saw some of him, but I don't remember him enough to...
Ed Reed's the best I saw.
Again, the problem with me remembering those things is I was like 10.
Yeah. I mean, I remember stuff from when I was like 6,
But how much
7.
stock do you put into your scouting ability at the age of 10?
I thought Reggie was the GOAT.
Oh, Reggie's the GOAT.
All right.
That was Reggie Lewis, by the way. Best basketball player ever, according to Scotty.
The best I saw was Jordan, obviously.
But Reggie was second.
That's a good... We'll get to basketball another time. We got all summer to talk about that. All right.
Packers defeat the Cowboys.
34-31.
This was an incredible game. I honestly thought when the Cowboys came back,
they were going to
win. I think they're still a better team after watching those games.
Dak started slow, but
the Cowboys in general started slow. A couple big calls against them, too, cost them.
Which is surprising in Dallas, of all the places. Dallas did start slow. They fell behind 21-3, and Rodgers has been inhuman lately. But Dak's final number is 24-38 for 302, 3 touchdowns. He did have the 1 pick, 103.2 rating. As a rookie, your first career playoff start, you can't do much better than that.
Look, I'm going to tell you right now, though, his numbers are better than Rodgers, but he wasn't as good.
Well, Rodgers was 28-43, 356, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, a rating of 96.7.
And he really should have had another pick.
Believe me, he was better than that.
He really should have had another pick.
He made all the throws that he had to make.
See, it's hard for me to say he was better than that. He was very good, but he should have had that other pick. I mean,
probably.
The funny thing is, like, you look at the numbers, and I'm not even trying to compare Rodgers and Brady at this exact moment, but Rodgers throws a pick that gets called back because of a penalty, and Brady throws a pick because Michael Floyd's drunk. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real here. Those things are so finite. And
Michael Floyd the other night played like he had been playing helicopter with like you and me.
No idea what he was doing. Yeah. No idea.
Jordy Nelson's status for Sunday in Atlanta is quote unquote slim.
Yeah, he's still listed as questionable. I got the reports we'll talk about when we do the previews.
I think if Nelson can play, he will. Because again, this could be their season going on the road.
Atlanta should be able to destroy them because the Packers secondary is very weak. You have
terrible. Terrible. I shudder to think if they survive this week and they play New England and they give Brady time to throw, they're going to be open all day.
Green Bay?
No, yeah, they play Hogan,
if it's
Hogan, Amendola, they're going to be open all day.
Well, you're assuming all those guys are healthy, and we'll talk about that again.
Well, it's a Super Bowl, so if they can walk, they're going to play. It looks like we're going to be bleeding into the next segment, but I do want to say
we get time.
That throw that Rodgers made to set up the game-winning field goal, rolling out to his left, throwing across his body on the run down
he's
the
doing
left
Chris
side.
O'Keefe arm strength. I know. What do you want from me?
And it was right on the money, and it was a great catch as well.
Let me explain something to you. He may be the only quarterback I've ever seen that can make that throw. That doesn't mean he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and we'll talk about that later. That throw was incredible.
I think in all my time watching football, if you ask me one other guy I think could have made that throw, maybe Elway. Maybe Elway.
Maybe.
But I
don't think Elway has that same touch and accuracy.
Manning, Brady
could never make that throw.
Those guys.
Manning never could make a throw like that on the run, and Manning doesn't have that same arm strength.
Brady couldn't. Brady
can't. He can't throw on the run.
Maybe
most of the time.
Maybe rolling out to his right, not to his left.
I don't even know if Brady can make that throw rolling out to his right. Brady does not throw well on the move. He's improved, but he does not throw well on the move. Let's talk about the Patriots game.
All right.
They crushed the Texans in what was originally a close game. The big turning point here was that Fuller drop touchdown pass from Brock.
That would have put him ahead.
They would have been down by 3.
Were they up 10 at the time?
Yeah. But that was a big play.
All right, I got to say this really quickly. Osweiler is one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen.
I have heard talk about it this week. Is he possibly the worst quarterback ever? I don't think he's that bad. He's not Brandon Weeden without a concussion, but he's pretty bad. He is pretty bad.
20, and again, these numbers actually look better than how he actually played. He was 23 of 40, 198, 1 touchdown, 3 picks, and a rating of 47.7.
And the funny thing is, I don't think they look better than they are because the completion percentage is over 50, so I get what you're saying, but he threw less than 5 yards per pass.
Right.
Even with completing
the only
a
one
decent
he
amount.
really threw downfield was the one that Fuller dropped.
Right. Other than that, it was like check down city.
Brady had some good moments. He had some bad moments. I don't think this was Tom's best game. I thought he was pretty mediocre, to be honest with you. I know that he's your Binky, and like you're gonna like say like, how dare you say that?
No,
He was mediocre. He didn't have a good game, but I mean it happens. 18 of 38, 287, so his yardage was still pretty good. Threw 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. One was half his fault, and we're gonna get to that in the next segment. His rating was 68.6. That's not Tom Brady. So
I said that, but his QBR was still pretty good. Yeah, QBR is a real stat, Scotty. I'm sorry, it actually does track stuff.
I try not to.
He was not bad in other ways. His completion percentage looks horrible. He had a lot of drops again.
He did.
That's the problem. The problem with this game was Houston was bringing great pressure up the middle, and Brady was running for his life.
That's
and a lot of times,
that's the formula for how you beat
right.
him.
But a lot of times, they were living on the deep ball and deep throws.
Well, even Belichick said himself that the big passing plays of the night were on prayers, as Belichick said. They were broken plays.
Yeah, they were broken plays. Brady threw them up.
Edelman had one for 48. Hogan had one for 45.
Edelman dropped another big one. Bennett dropped, I think, 1 or 2 big passes.
Everyone had at least one drop.
I don't think everyone had at least one drop, but it could have been even better. I mean, they could have dropped them all, too, because they were not standard plays.
The first pick of the night was, I don't know if you agree or disagree because we haven't talked about it. I think half of that is Floyd's fault, half of that's Brady's fault. I think Brady let him a little bit too much. And I think
that's how Brady throws the ball.
I think Floyd got a bad break off the line. And if you got 2 hands on it, you got to knock it down.
It hit him with, I think Boomer Esiason was like, ill-advised pass. I'm like, dude, he was on a slant route, and he literally drilled it right in front of where he's supposed to be, and it hit both of his hands. How is that a bad throw?
Thought he let
the
him
guy was open.
And I've looked at it a couple
times. It hit him in both of his hands. He's an NFL receiver. He's supposed to catch it. That's where Brady wants the ball. Yeah, it could have been like 4 inches backwards a little bit more, but that's exactly where the ball should be. He should have caught it. He really should have.
I think both guys were at fault. I thought he had a bad break off the line. Second pick was a tip ball that he was trying to force into Edelman. That was just a bad decision.
Yep.
Not much you could say about that. Dion Lewis, and this is going to be a problem. This is going to be a problem if it doesn't get cleaned up. If I were Bill, I'd be having him walk around Gillette with the football in his arm all week. Dion Lewis had a huge game. On the ground, he had 13 carries for 41 and a touchdown. In the air, he had 2 catches for 23 yards and a touchdown, the first touchdown of the game, and he even had a special teams touchdown, a 98-yard kickoff return to put him up 14-3. Fumbles are still the issue.
Well, I was saying, why is he back there? I understand they scored a touchdown, but after that, I would have taken him away.
He fumbled twice, one was lost. Houston ended up they scored a touchdown on that possession.
On that one.
Because he fumbled inside the 20.
He fumbled at like the 10 or 12 or something.
There must have been something up with Blunt. I know he was sick the previous week.
No, there's not.
I don't know if it was a combination of just matchups.
No, let me explain something to you. This is what it is. When Blunt's in the game, what can he do?
Run up the middle.
When White's in the game, what can he do?
Run up the middle or run outside.
No, White can't run up the middle. What can White do? James White.
He's like a Kevin Falk type.
He catches the ball. That's it, really. So Blunt can only run. White can only catch passes. Lewis can do both.
Right.
That's why Belichick wants him in there. They've eased him into the season. He's their best running back, no matter how many. I don't know. Blunt had 1,000 yards, and what did he have? 17 touchdowns?
18.
18, couldn't remember. Let me explain something to you. He was not that good this season. He was not Pro Bowl good. He was not a great running back. I don't think he's a top 10 running back. He's a very serviceable running back. He's a good running back. He's a B-level running back, but you can get those all over the place. He's a hard runner and a big guy. That's it.
So the Eric Rowe penalty can't happen. You know which one I'm talking about.
I think if that penalty doesn't happen, the game's over right there.
because they were up.
They're 7-0.
No, it's 7-0, and they ended up kicking a field goal on that possession when they got the ball back.
Right, it would have been 7-0. They would have punted.
Houston gave up on the possession. They were going to punt.
7-0. They would have punted. Patriots would have had it around midfield, scored another touchdown, game over.
That's a dumb rule, but it's still a rule, and he broke the rule. The Pats played poorly and still covered, which that's a good sign.
Yeah.
I mean, because they did not play well.
They clearly missed Gronk. I mean, they'd be better with Gronk, but I don't completely agree with that.
You can disagree with that if you want.
They're the best statistical defense, not at points, but in yards allowed. They actually have a good secondary, and they can get pressure in the middle. That's what matters.
Well, I don't know. We're going to see what happens. They're going to have their first real test since the Seattle game on Sunday.
But this is a defense that shouldn't be able to stop them.
I agree. And we're going to get to that in the next segment. Chris and Cash on Shattered Reality Radio. When we come back, we're going to get into more of the Patriots Houston game, wrap that up. The Antonio Brown video, which I'm sure you've heard of already, and Roger Goodell's reluctance to come visit us. Back after this. Scotty the Cash and Chris O'Keefe coming back to you on the Chris and Cash podcast, Shattered Reality Radio. I want to talk about Roger Goodell.
You don't say, Scotty.
I think if anyone knows me and has known me for a long time and has listened to our podcast, I despise this guy.
Scotty hates Roger Goodell. He's the Fredo in Scotty's life.
Yeah, but that's a bad comparison.
I didn't say you hate Fredo, but Fredo's completely inept.
This guy's dumber
a traitor.
Than Fredo. That's an insult to Fredo Corleone.
Don't you insult Fredo. He's got more power, more acceleration.
All right.
More mafia blood. I'm like, excuse me, Scotty?
So I thought, besides Jerry Jones or our friend Troy, the guy who wanted the Cowboys most to win last week was Roger Goodell. Why?
Well, yeah, because he planned for the Cowboys to win, so he wouldn't have to go to Gillette.
Right. So this boob is not going to the AFC Championship game. He's going to Atlanta for the second consecutive weekend. I guess he wanted to get a closer look at that stadium. I know it wasn't to enjoy the...
That stadium's awesome, by the way. Have you seen it?
I saw it. Yeah, I've seen renderings of it, yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
I don't care. It's a stadium.
I'm just letting you know.
That's a bad look for the commissioner, actively avoiding a venue.
It's not only a bad look for the commissioner. If he comes here this week, it's over. It's done.
You come out on the field, they boo your ass, and it's done.
He's not going to watch the game with the common fan anyways. No one's going to stab him. Nothing's going to happen. He's going to go up.
That's ridiculous.
Right. He's going to go up to his box. I mean, come on. Let's be real here.
The only thing, if there's some nefarious situation where Roger Goodell doesn't come, it's not about security. It's not about fearing for his safety. It's that he told the Krafts, I'm going to show up, and they said, we don't fucking want you.
No, that didn't happen because I read what Jonathan Kraft said about it.
Right. I doubt that happened.
He said they have no decision. They don't invite people.
Precisely.
The commissioner and he said, I forget what Park Avenue, wherever the hell they are. He said they make that decision on their own.
Precisely. That tells me that he's just a chicken shit.
He is a chicken shit. But we knew this. I feel bad for his family, and I'm going to tell you why. Because he lives in Maine.
He's an asshole.
Right. He lives in Maine, and when they actually have to go out places, because that's where his main major residence is, if they have to go out for ice cream,
he gets harassed.
He gets booed and harassed at supermarkets and stuff. But people are not physically going to harm him. And if he can do that at his house, just freaking go to the game, dude.
No, you know what? He does have a summer house in Maine. He does get harassed. They say, hey, fuck you, you're an asshole. No one goes up and punches him. All right?
They haven't shanked him 20 times.
That'd be awesome.
This isn't like Lysol, you stabbed my dad.
Best show ever.
It was the best show.
Now, wait a minute. I didn't have sex with Katie.
Correction. I did have sex with Katie.
Lysol had sex with Katie. No, Tyree, you had sex with me too. Correction. I had sex with Katie.
Great show.
All right. Not only that, him being a chicken shit, it's his job to come here. This is his job.
No, I understand that.
He's not doing his job.
Well,
he sucks at his job.
His job is just to make money. We've been over this. And I'm not saying he's good at it, but the owners think he is, and that's all that matters. It really is.
There is zero excuse for him to not show up this weekend.
Dude, you don't have to preach. You're preaching to the choir.
No,
you're not preaching to the choir. You're preaching to Jesus.
So if the Patriots win the Super Bowl in 3 weeks, is he going to show up?
Yeah.
Is he going to hand him the trophy?
He has to. He doesn't.
Remember,
he hands it to Kraft, though. That doesn't get handed. He doesn't hand anything to Brady.
You know that he wants Pittsburgh to win on Sunday.
I think he wishes the whole Patriots organization just died.
No, because he knows that he's going to get harassed unmercifully for 2 weeks.
He's probably trying to get us to be relocated.
It won't work.
He's like, move the team to San Diego.
Actually, the Cleveland Browns moved, so I guess anything's possible.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
It's SKG.
all right, look, come here and take your medicine like a man.
I agree.
And I think part of it is that he's ashamed to show up because everyone knows that he lied. Everyone knows that he's an idiot. Everyone knows at this point that his punishment didn't.
Well, this has to show some
work.
culpability for him, right? This has to show that he knows he's guilty.
Where-
I've heard people compare it to
where's
this
the
is when
P-
you know you do something wrong and you avoid your mom.
Where's the PSI data?
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
That's what this stinks of. Is he knows he's wrong and he doesn't want to show up.
By him not showing up, he's admitting that he completely botched the whole thing.
Oh, completely.
Look at if he came out in the press and said, you know what, I'm not going to Gillette, but I'm going to say something. I completely fucked up Deflategate. I would have a little bit of respect for him
I'd honestly think most people would get over it.
if he admitted it.
It's like I have a question for you.
Answer.
Not going to get into baseball completely, but PED users.
Mhm.
Who's the one PED user in baseball that everyone forgives all the time?
David Ortiz.
No. More than David Ortiz. The guy came out and talked about how he used the drugs.
Jason Giambi.
No. Getting closer because it's a Yankee.
Andy Pettit.
Andy Pettit. Now, why does everyone just deal with the fact that he said he took HGH?
He admitted it.
He admitted it. He came out like a man and just took his punishment and said, even though he lied a little bit, oh, you used it once for injury.
I misremembered.
Yeah, I misremembered. I didn't know, but he said...
Actually, that was Clemens.
That was Clemens. But he said, I took it, right? He went out and said, I took it. If Goodell just said, look, I fucked up. Boom, case closed. Said,
He did it.
Andy Pettit went out and said, listen, there's people that are suspected of doing steroids, and people are like, oh, terrible, I'm never voting for him for the Hall of Fame. And then there's Andy Pettit who's like, I did HGH. And when he comes up, he's going to get votes. Because he said he did it. He admitted it. You admit to it? That's the only thing with Brady, and I don't think he even did anything to Deflategate. If he did, if he had just said, look, I don't know, I told him to get the balls low. It is what it is. I didn't try to have him cheat, but I told him to get the balls as low as possible.
I think
we always do that.
Listen, do I think that they were probably making the balls lighter? Probably. Do I think Brady... I think Brady honestly told Birdman or Deflator, or whatever the hell his name was.
Dorito Dink, all of them.
Look, right. I honestly think he said, you know, the balls the other game were too heavy. I like it a little softer. He's
probably said to him all the time. This is what they did.
I don't think Tom Brady looked at the rule book and said, oh, it's 11.5. Make sure.
No, I'm sure he
one
knew
is
it was
out of the
11.5, but I'm sure he said, if you can get away with like 11.3. And they went in there with balls at 11.3, and then it got cold out, and everyone knows what happens when it's cold.
Except for Goodell.
Yep, balls shrivel in the cold. Okay? Ta-da!
My basketball in my garage the other day was...
It's flat, Scotty, huh?
Yeah, I think I got to call Roger. I think someone's been going into my garage, sneaking in at night, deflating my basketball.
Yeah, there's a reason why your tire pressures go on in the winter. Okay?
I don't think I'm the Mona Lisa Vito of basketball air pressure. All right, but that's all I'm going to say about that. He's a piece of shit. Show up, get it over with. You're only hurting yourself in the league.
Yeah, but every other fan base knows. They all know.
It's gotten to the point where opposing fan bases actually defending the Patriots. Like, wow,
Right,
this guy is an asshole.
he's fucked up so much, and by keeping petty stuff like this, like people realize, like, oh wow, they really did get railroaded. Even the people that didn't before, all realize it now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it keeps growing. The amount of people that go, wow, you guys did get screwed. Like originally, it was just like the reasonable fans of like the Steelers or the Falcons or the Panthers.
I think that's why he's not showing up.
Yeah,
That's why.
yeah, is why.
If he really was confident in his ruling and thought that he got it right in his words, he'd have no problem showing up. Why aren't you showing up, Raj? You know why.
Yep.
You fuck dick. All right.
The Antonio Brown video. Funny video, by the way.
Oh, hilarious. By the way,
Would never happen to the Patriots.
I lost count at about 43 when he was like, God is good. God is so good.
Would never, ever happen with the Patriots. Because not only is he recording live, but all the other players going, oh, hey, this is me. This is my number. This is who I am.
Some guy like had his ass out, like off.
Oh, yeah, one of the like offensive linemen or something in the corner. Great.
All right. There was a quote from Tomlin, which I think is the reason that this got made a story. If this didn't happen, I don't think this even would have been a story. But Tomlin was heard saying, quote, let's start our preparations. We just spotted these assholes a day and a half. They played yesterday. Our game got moved to tonight. We're going to touchdown at 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. So be it. We'll be ready for their ass. And then he did finish his speech by saying, keep cool on social media. Now,
this is about us, nobody else, man, is what he said.
Yep.
You have the whole quote. And by the way, you got to say it with some more gusto, Scotty.
I didn't feel like doing.
Tomlin's like,
I didn't feel like doing the Omar Epps.
We need Omar Epps to do it.
All right. Yeah, call him up.
Shit, they're fucking twins.
I don't know how you feel about this. I don't think it's a big deal. I really don't.
It's not a big deal at
I
all.
don't think it's
You
a
sure
big deal.
Belichick doesn't say "fuck them, those pussies" or something like that all the time?
Probably.
Like, dude, all my football coaches were like, "Knock their dicks in the dirt." Like, this is not like, oh, we called them assholes. Woo!
We are assholes.
Right. And every football team hates other football teams. That's the point. You want to crush their skulls before you freaking play.
The Patriots and the Yankees. We are assholes. We've accepted it. The one thing I took an issue with, we spotted them a day and a half. No, they got spotted a day and a half because they were the number one
No,
seed.
that's not even why. It's just because the NFL scheduled someone for Saturday. The Falcons were the number 2 seed. They were spotted a day and a half even if Dallas won. Guess what? Because that's how it frickin' works.
Mike Tomlin,
It's how it works.
you want to get a day and a half start? Finish with the best record in the AFC.
Even then they might get Sunday. Doesn't matter. No one cares. There's been days where
One seed always plays Saturday night. It alternates between
and
NFC
one seed
and
always
AFC.
plays Sunday night.
Right.
So
Well, Sunday afternoon.
Sunday whenever. But basically, this literally could have been the Steelers were the 1 seed. They still could have played on Sunday. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he's talking about. This is every year. There's been days and games where he's had extra rest over other teams.
Patriots use this as bulletin board material?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
They make up shit when they don't have any.
I understand, but you know what they have as better bulletin board material? Everyone talking about how great Pittsburgh's offense is. Everyone nationally been raving about them all week.
It is a very good offense.
I understand that, but when that's all you hear all day, what's the Patriots defense going to do with that? They're going to take it and be like, oh, we're going to shut these motherfuckers down. They're the best scoring defense in the league, and that's all they're hearing about is Roethlisberger, Brown, and Bell are unstoppable. That's bulletin board material.
This reminds me so much. I don't know if you agree. In 2003, when the Colts went through 2 playoff games without punting, and everyone said they were going to come in here.
Right. That's what happened. When everyone says gasses somebody up, they're incredible.
I think Marcus Pollard said, fit us for our rings now. And
you know what?
There's like a lot of trash talking.
To get just for a second, if I'm Matt Ryan, I'm using the Aaron Rodgers talk as motivation. I'm playing better than Aaron Rodgers this year, the whole year, better than him recently, and they're still talking about, oh, look at that dude's throw. Dude, I don't need throws like that because I just beat the shit out of people in regular time. I don't need to bomb one up and hope some Hail Mary gets caught. Okay, come on now. If I'm Matt Ryan, I'm saying, come on. I'm slamming my dick on the table, I'm Matt Ryan. That's ridiculous.
I would be offended that I'm at home, and most of the ones that I've seen anyway, they think Green Bay is going to beat them.
Yeah. Because of how awesome Aaron Rodgers is, and we'll get into that.
We're going to get into it. Raiders, you know this is my favorite subject. Raiders filed to move to Vegas.
One real quick thing.
Yeah.
You wrote about streaming it live and why it wasn't smart.
Oh,
I'll tell you why it is smart. It's smart for Antonio Brown because he gets paid.
And I didn't know that.
He got about $225,000 for posting that.
Didn't know that.
The max fine, I believe, it's either $20,000 or $25,000 because he's a first-time offender for breaking the social media NFL policy. So he's going to make about $200,000 for posting that video. If the NFL is serious about this policy, they need to up the fine, and they need to say, not only are you fined $50,000, but we're also going to take on top of that any money you make off that social media post. Then people won't do it. Because if Antonio Brown lost the $225,000 and on top of that $50,000, then he wouldn't do it, right?
Yeah, but you're under the assumption the NFL would do the right thing and the smart thing. They won't.
Oh, they never do. I'm just saying. When I'm the over-commissioner of everybody, and I have to get to... See, that's the position I'm going to have at some point soon, hopefully. When I'm the over-commissioner and I can control all the commissioners of every league, that's one of the things I'm going to tell Goodell to do right after I kick him in the head.
No, you're going to fire him.
I'm going to kick him in the head. Then I'm going to abuse him and torture him, and I'll make Brady come in. Brady gets to torture him a little bit, and then I'm going to fire him.
Define torture. What's he going to do? Like shock his balls?
Brady can do whatever he wants. It's Tom Brady. Brady wants to throw footballs at his head for the whole week? I don't care.
Raiders filed to move to Vegas.
Petition to move to Vegas. Not shocking. Every NFL team's moving, apparently.
I think it's a huge mistake.
They're going to build a crazy stadium there, too.
Like, is Goodell just going to let 15 teams move overnight? Is that how this is going to work?
If they're going to get awesome new stadiums everywhere, yeah, they don't care. They don't care.
The people in L.A. don't even want the Chargers there. They don't even want the Chargers there.
They changed the logo. They had a logo. Everyone made fun of it. They changed the logo. Everyone made fun of it. Then they talked about how they might rebrand from the Chargers because they kept getting made fun of. Then they went to I think it was a Clippers game, and they got booed. All the Chargers people that were there got booed.
Yeah.
Because no one wants them.
You're not the Raiders. Boo.
Right? No one wants them. But the NFL don't care. The NFL don't care about fans. Do you think they care about fans?
They're gonna care when people stop watching.
Are they really?
It's gonna happen.
They're not. Well, they haven't yet.
There's a reason ratings.
They've been shitting on fans now for about 10 years.
There is a reason ratings are way
Part
down
of that
this
is
year.
the way that people have cut the cord. I'm not saying that part of it isn't, listen, ESPN's douches, friggin' Goodell's a douche. People don't have to watch. You can just check the highlights later. I don't get time anymore. Listen, I love football. I love football my entire life since I was a kid. Playing football, watching football all the time. I don't have time anymore to waste all of Sunday, Monday night, Thursday night to watch your fucking crummy fucking product. I don't. Do you have time to watch crummy product?
I would make time for it if it was still real football like the old days.
It's crummy fucking product.
It sucks.
Poor officiating. Poor rules.
This is not
Too many blowouts.
This is not the
bad games.
This is not the NFL I grew up with. What the NFL really needs to do, because they change the rules so often that there's zero interpretation on either side. What they really need to do, they need to take the NFL rule book. They need to put it in one of those metal trash cans, you know, the old-fashioned trash cans. They need to dump a bunch of kerosene on it and light it on
Well, I didn't print
fire
out a rule book
and
this year.
start from scratch.
You know I used to print out a rule book every year.
I know. When
And
you
I
had
would read
no
it.
life.
I still have a couple. I didn't
You
print out
have
a
a
rule
life
book this
now.
year. But it's ridiculous to read them. It's ridiculous.
Well, the NFL is ridiculous.
What's
That's why
he gonna
and we're like drug addicts. We spend our whole show talking about the NFL.
I know. We're like, fuck this league. Fuck these drugs. Let's take them.
All right, so we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to... Chris has a bone to pick with the Aaron Rodgers talk. And we're also going to get into Matty Ryan. You had some Matt Ryan
Yeah,
stuff.
we'll talk about Matt Ryan and Brady and all of them.
All right,
It'll be a quarterback segment.
quarterback segment. Back after this. Chris and Cash coming back at you, Shattered Reality Radio. I want to talk about, we both want to talk about the comments that Colin Cowherd made about Brady this week.
They're absurd.
That's not strong enough.
Okay. I don't know what's beyond absurd, so
It's-
you let me know.
It's one of the 10 dumbest things ever said in the English language.
No, it's higher than that. It's probably top 3, if not number 1. I mean, I'm sure we could find a Trump quote that's higher than that. I know he's your president now. He's my president too. Relax.
He's our president.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Those executive orders are going to be flying.
They already did. They've already been.
He's already signed like 3 of them.
Yeah, he's already fucked people. If I wanted to buy a house this year with an FHA loan, I'm now going to have to pay a fucking higher interest rate, which is incredible. Awesome. Great job, bud. Awesome president. Already fucked me over 40 grand.
You and Moore should have bought this house.
Doesn't
right
matter.
across
That's
the
not my
street.
point. That's the point. But
Property
I digress.
values are low down here. It's a good neighborhood.
I digress. This is
Move-
fucking Lynn.
Move to this neighborhood.
Property values are low because people get stabbed and there's friggin' all types of horrible people.
good area.
Move to Lynn.
It's a good
It
area.
isn't a bad area. It's actually true. It is a good area. It's a good area of Lynn, which isn't saying much. But I digress.
The one good area of Lynn.
Smartest kid on the short bus kind of thing.
Right.
But yeah, he said Brady's playing for his position. He's playing for his.
How?
He's not.
Brady could
He
throw...
I love Colin Cowherd because he actually gasses up and loves Brady, but he's just saying this to get people to talk about him.
It's clickbait.
Yeah.
But here's my point. He could throw 6 picks and they could lose 42-10 on Sunday, which they're not. But let's say that happens. He's going to be your starting quarterback week
He could
1.
throw 6 picks, break his back in half, and say he doesn't want to play football anymore, and Belichick's still going to have him as a starter next year. I'm just letting you know.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter.
No, you're right.
I mean, the guy just had one of his best seasons ever. Could have been MVP.
Number 1 touchdown to interception ratio
Ever.
which we've
a
already
112
covered.
plus rating. We've already been over all this stuff, but 11-1.
The other thing,
He's
too,
great.
the other
He's
thing,
not.
too,
I know you said he looked bad the other day. He put a lot of those passes in really good spots.
it wasn't one of his better games, though.
I didn't say it was his better game, but you know what? If that's his worst game, that's still better than a lot of other players' worst games. Aaron Rodgers had 5 of those games this year.
There were moments where Brady looked like he was fine the other night, and moments where he looked like he sucked. It was a mixed bag. That's why I said mediocre.
Dude, Jadeveon Clowney was trying to fucking teabag him. What do you want?
Can you do that with a helmet on?
Yeah, he was like, correction. I did have sex with Tom Brady. Okay?
No, Tyree, you had sex with Tom Brady too. All right, here's my point with this. It's not going to happen because, and it's never going to happen because this never happens with the Patriots. You tell me a time when you remember, maybe like a Dallas.
I don't know what you're talking about because you just say it's never going to happen.
Maybe a Dallas Thomas in 2009. I don't know. Bill is never going to come out and play his hand. But this is just my personal belief. I think Belichick is pissed that he didn't play in Week 4 against Buffalo. I think the reason
Garoppolo?
Yes.
Yeah,
I think
we've been over this.
I think the reason
Sure as hell is pissed.
I think the reason he didn't sign Matt Flynn or another veteran quarterback was because he assumed, and the coaching staff believed, he was going to play that Sunday.
Yeah, Belichick's
And
mad
he
as
said-
hell, and he don't want to take it.
And he said, I couldn't go. And I think honestly, Belichick is like, you're fucking dead to me after that.
Right, and I think he's trading him in the offseason.
He probably.
And I think you're going to have Brady at a good rate still, okay? And then he's going to go up for the next 2 years after that. But I think Brady has 2 to 3 more elite years. I really do. I've been preaching this longer than anybody, and you know it. Even in 2013, I was saying, this guy's got a lot of elite years left. He still has the arm talent. He's not going to forget how to read defenses unless he has some kind of crazy concussion or something or he turns into Mark Savad. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just telling you right now, Brady can still play. They're not going to get rid of a guy. I think he's making $15 million in the cap again next year.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to get rid of a $15 million cap hit quarterback unless they're going to get 3 first-round picks for Brady. Then maybe they'll talk about it. But
Even then, I'm not sure they do it.
do you want Super Bowls or do you want a couple first-round picks?
I want to win this year. I'm not worried about 2022.
I'm not either. I'm just telling you. Brady, I've talked about this, and this was. I remember I wrote a crazy scenario in our email chain, and I said, what if Brady wins into the Super Bowl or 2 and makes at least 3 or 4 more AFC Championship games? That was in the middle of this year, so that doesn't count this AFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
But it's highly
We
plausible.
knew they were going to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah,
Even
and
when
they
they-
may go to the Super Bowl again.
Even when they were having their struggles, like mid-season with the defense, and they had that bad game against Seattle, I said, they're still going to be in the AFC Championship game.
Oh, dude, it's like Death Tax's AFC Championship game. It really is.
It is.
We talked about this. Death Tax's Tom
They
Brady in the
haven't-
AFC Championship
They
game.
haven't made it. The last time they didn't make it was 6 years
And
ago.
that goes to my next point, and the next thing I want to talk about is Manish Mehta came out and said that Aaron Rodgers would win more with Belichick than Brady has.
I'm going to let you just go on that.
And that's absurd. And I'm going to do a little quick breakdown, okay? Because Aaron Rodgers is such a great winner. He's always in the Super Bowl. Wait, that's been once. He's always winning Super Bowls. Wait, that's been once. He's always in NFC Championship games. No, this is his 3rd. Brady, 4 Super Bowl wins, 6 appearances, 11 championship game appearances.
Which will never be
Those
done
are all
again.
fucking records, by the way.
11 will
Tied
never
for are records. No,
11 will never be done again, and they'll
I don't know if
probably
anyone's
go
going
to
to make 6 Super Bowls again. As a quarterback in this league? Seriously? We'll see. But I digress. Mike McCarthy's winning percentage without Rodgers for his career is .656. With Rodgers at .649. Which one of those numbers is better?
without.
Oh, ding, 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 we have a winner, Scotty. Bill Belichick's winning percentage without Brady is .466. Yes, that's .466 without Brady. I'll repeat one more time. .466 without
That
Brady.
includes the 2000 season, though.
Includes the 2000 season. Includes the first 2 games of 2001 where they lost without Brady. Pretty odd how that works. Bill Belichick's winning percentage with Brady. .779. Which one of those numbers is higher, Scotty?
With Brady.
Oh, okay. Ding, 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 ding. So, yeah. Brady's just good because of Belichick.
know what-
That's what it is, Manish. That's what it is.
Do you know what it is without the 0-1 season in the first 2 games? Belichick's record?
Without the 01 season?
So it's 11 and
Oh,
5.
2000 season, you mean?
11 and 5 and 3
And 3 and 1.
So that's 14 and 6, right?
Yeah.
All right.
That's still not as good as with Brady.
What is that for a percentage?
About almost 700. Still not as good as Brady.
So 14 is okay. So it's
It is 700.
70%. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not as good as Brady.
Yep.
It's still 80 percentage point. Well, 80 out of the 8% points if you're doing just percentage, lower than Brady.
And that
But-
that 2000 team was a bad team.
Let's go over some of the things Meta said. He said, if Brady can thrive at 39, why can't the 33-year-old Rodgers thrive for another 5 years or so, or 5 or so years? I'm going to tell you why. Brady's extremely more durable. It's not even close. Rodgers misses games a lot. He gets injured a lot. He has a completely different play style. You'd agree with that, correct?
Yes.
Is he going to be able to run around like that at 38?
Depends.
Is he going to be able to throw the ball like that at 38?
Depends.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Tom Brady's going to be able to sit in the pocket and read defenses. Probably at 40, 41, 42. A little bit different.
Do you know what my favorite thing? Really quick interjection. When Russell Wilson won it 2 years ago. Remember all that talk like this is how quarterbacks have to be now. They have to be mobile. I just want to point out that a dinosaur's won the Super Bowl back-to-back years now.
And one of them couldn't even play anymore.
One of them couldn't even play.
That's my point to you is why Alex Smith can win the Super Bowl. Because Peyton Manning won one last year. Anything is possible! Yes. Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls.
Manning,
Flacco won a Super Bowl, and all he does is eat nuggets and be porn star stash 70s mediocre quarterback. Any mediocre quarterback can win a Super Bowl with the right team.
Peyton Manning's football IQ as a quarterback up here. Alex Smith compared to Manning way down here, below the table.
not fair.
That's a difference.
That's not fair. And we're going to get into that.
That's not
Quarterback
fair.
rating. That's not fair. I had a great customer that did that one time.
That's not
Long
fair.
story. I have to be off the air for that. But then he says, Rodgers' pocket presence and functional mobility are second to none. I have an issue with half of that. Rodgers' pocket presence is not second to none. He's not as good as Brady in the pocket. His functional mobility, sure, because the motherfucker's running out of the pocket all the time. You know what Bakhtiari told him, and I think I talked about this last week. I'm not sure if I remember. That if we brought
I'm not
this
sure
up.
Rodgers is as good as Drew Brees in the pocket.
But he said,
Be honest with
Bakhtiari told Rodgers in the first playoff game, in the wild card game, he said, stop getting out of the pocket. He was flushing himself out of the pocket against the Giants. That was what was creating problems. That line, they're the best pass blocking line in the friggin' league. But Rodgers gets out of the pocket.
Dallas.
No. Pass blocking league, best offensive line in the league is Dallas.
You're just talking about pass.
Just pass blocking.
All right.
The Green Bay Packers are an incredible pass blocking league. Now, Rodgers is a part of that with what he does, but he has tons of time all the time. That's why he had that 8+ second touchdown, okay? Then he also says, he's every bit as smart as Brady with more physical tools. No, he's not. I love Rodgers.
I disagree with the smart.
I think Rodgers right.
Rodgers
is the most talented quarterback I have ever seen, bar none. Do you agree with that?
Yes, physical tools you'll give him.
Oh, by far. We just talked about how no one else can make that throw. Maybe Elway. Maybe Steve Young, too. I don't know. Steve Young didn't have as strong.
Elway had a better arm.
Right. But Steve Young could run, and he could still throw on the run. So
there's a reason that they call it the Elway cross.
But Steve Young had a better touch and accuracy.
I'm just talking about arm strength.
Right, but I don't think Elway has that arm.
Remember the Elway cross?
Yes, but Elway doesn't have that accuracy. That's why I don't know if anyone makes that throw over Rodgers. But Rodgers isn't as smart. If Rodgers was as smart as Brady, he wouldn't have to wait all those seconds to get somebody open. He has better wide receivers than Brady right now, and it still takes him 5 seconds to read the defense and make a throw.
That's without Gronk, you're saying.
Right. Without Gronk, Rodgers has better weapons. He really does. I mean, he might not if Jordy Nelson isn't playing and Devontae Adams isn't playing because they both might not play.
All those guys in a vacuum might take a healthy Gronkowski, but that's beside the point.
But after that, I'd take Jordy Nelson next. That's not even close. It goes Gronk and Jordy Nelson.
Edelman or Cobb?
Cobb's better than Edelman. And I think Adams is better than Edelman. Edelman's not that. I love Edelman. Edelman's a player. Edelman is like half of Wes Welker. We'll say 65, 70%, okay? He is not as great as everyone says. He's a slightly above average slot receiver that plays his ass off. That's Julian Edelman. Love the guy. He's a Trot Nixon of NFL slot receivers, okay? He's not as good as J.D. Drew. He is sure as shit not as good as Manny Ramirez, okay? He's Trot Nixon level. That's what he is. Can't put him anywhere else. Look at his numbers. Never made a Pro Bowl. Should never have made a Pro Bowl. He's not incredible. He's not. And the last one. Imagine how Rodgers' career would have played out if he would team with Bill Belichick. That's odd, but I'm going to switch this around. Imagine how Bill Belichick's career would play out if he never had Tom Brady. Imagine how many rings Mike McCarthy has if he has Tom Brady. Because as far as I'm concerned, and I'm going to say it right now, players play and win games. Brady is the reason, even though Belichick gives a ton of great coaching and has set up an awesome atmosphere, Brady is the reason that they're in 11 AFC Championship games and 6 Super Bowls and 4 Super Bowl wins. Brady.
Let me interject for a second, because we've had this conversation before. We said, what would you take for a 10-year stretch? Would you take Brady with Tom Coughlin or Belichick with Eli Manning?
I take Brady.
With Coughlin.
Yes.
We've had that conversation before. Same thing. 10 years in their primes. Belichick and Rodgers or McCarthy and Brady?
I might take Belichick and Rodgers, but that's only because the gap between Belichick and McCarthy is slightly larger than the gap between Brady and Rodgers.
And the gap between Rodgers and Eli is
massive.
Yeah.
Or Brady and Rodgers, Eli is massive.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. You always take the quarterback if the gaps are equal. I might even take...
McCarthy's not a bad coach.
No, I might even say that Brady could win. Brady and McCarthy
could win 3.
Could win 3 Super Bowls, and maybe that's all Belichick and Rodgers win. Because I'm going to continue with my rant here. Okay, how often has Rodgers had absolutely no weapons on offense? Well, that hasn't happened. But how often has he taken a team with no weapons to a championship game?
Never.
Right. How many times has Brady done it?
Twice.
2006 and 2013. I'm talking about those receivers that received those receiving cores should not have been NFL receiving cores. When Doug Gabriel, Rashae Caldwell is supposed to be your best wide receivers. Oh, when you have Kembrell Tompkins and Aaron Dropson as your rookie stud receivers.
Austin
Austin Collie. I mean, he was throwing to Matthew Mulligan in that game. I don't even want to talk about it. Because Gronk was injured that year too.
All they did was
Okay.
literally all their secondary that day did was put 3 guys on.
That's why I believe it was Roddy White who said Tom Brady could throw to the UPS man. Okay? You could put it, and they'll still make the AFC Championship game. He said something like that. You can put anybody with Tom Brady, and he's making that AFC Championship game on offense.
Well, he's done it.
And I'm going to say something else. When the hell has Rodgers ever taken a team with a crap defense to the Super Bowl?
2011.
He hasn't. He hasn't. And when he does those things, and when he has as many wins without Belichick as Brady has with Belichick, and he looks like he can carry a team all the time like he's doing right now, because that's all Brady's done for 16 years, is carry teams. All right? And I'm not saying the Patriots have been bereft of talent. There's a reason that motherfucker went 16-0. And it ain't because that team dragged him. Rest my case. A little bit more to talk about with the quarterbacks. Matt Ryan's not getting enough love.
Nope. Look, I still think if I had a vote, Brady would still be my MVP, but he would be number 2 on my ballot.
He's playing better than all of them.
All right. He certainly looked like the MVP the other night.
I mean, I know he hasn't won a big game.
And look at, I know Earl Thomas didn't play. And I know they were at home.
Still a Seattle defense.
That's a good D. That's a very good.
And how did that defense look against him?
Swiss cheese.
Completely overmatched.
Overmatched.
And he's going to destroy Green Bay the same way. It's going to be a shootout, but it's going to be the same way.
I don't think it's going to destroy him.
I think Matt Ryan, you're going to see 3 more touchdowns.
Green Bay is going to put up points.
Oh, they will. But I mean, he's going to destroy the defense.
Their secondary's horrendous.
He's going to destroy the defense. Matt Ryan is.
Atlanta's going 30-plus in this game.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Matt Ryan, listen, this is just they score 30-plus points in the NFC Championship game, they win. Then they go to the Super Bowl and win, and he puts up monster numbers there. And then suddenly everyone's going to be looking at that motherfucker a little different.
Ben's won 2 Super Bowls, he gets no respect.
Yeah, and then we're going to talk about Ben Roethlisberger. Okay? He's got 2 Super Bowls, 3 appearances. He's a stud. He's not on the same level as these guys right now, but he's been in the MVP conversations before. Clear cut going to be a Hall of Famer. Okay? One of probably the 30 best quarterbacks that's ever lived. Okay?
If he wins the 3rd one, you're going to have to redo your top 20 and have him in there.
He might be.
Somewhere.
He might be. I'm not. Listen, I don't have Troy Aikman in there, but he's better than Troy Aikman. And that goes to...
Roethlisberger's a better quarterback.
Right. That goes to, is this the best Final Four quarterbacks we've ever had?
We were talking about it. In 92, you had Dan Marino, he was one of my
Dan
favorites.
Marino and Jim Kelly.
Jimbo Kelly. You had Steve Young, and you had Aikman. Aikman was the worst of the 4, by far.
Yeah. Let me explain something to you. All these guys are better than Aikman. Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback ever, and Aaron Rodgers is the most talented quarterback ever. I'm going to go right now as saying, when these guys are all said and done, when these cats are finished playing, you're going to realize that this is the best foursome that has ever made it this far in a year. Ever. I'm not saying it will be forever because there might be a better foursome, but there is never going to be a foursome better than this and playing at the level that they're playing. Okay? 3 out of these 4 guys...
What about Cordell Stewart in 01?
No, yeah. What about Rex Grossman? 3 of these 4 guys are playing at a level that's the highest you've seen. Brady, Rodgers, and Matt Ryan right now are playing at a level very few quarterbacks ever play at. And they're the 3 best quarterbacks in the league right now, correct?
Mm-hmm.
How often are the 3 best quarterbacks in the league? And then, ho-hum, the worst quarterback out of the 4
I'm not even sure.
is a 2-time Super Bowl winner and a 3-time Super Bowl.
He's 3 appearances, and if they win Sunday night, Ben's getting in a rarefied air with this 4 Super Bowl appearance.
Oh, if he wins a 3rd Super Bowl in 4 appearances.
No, I'm just saying even if he gets to 4.
Yeah. Oh.
How many quarterbacks have been to 4?
Kelly? Well, let's go. Brady has 6.
Brady.
Elway has 5.
Kelly.
Bradshaw,
Yep.
Peyton Manning, and Joe Montana. That's it.
So you.
Oh wait, Staubach?
Yeah,
he's 2 and 2.
He must have been. Yeah. We're gonna look up Staubach really quick.
I believe Staubach is 2 and 2, and that would be everybody.
We're running past our time here.
Yeah, but not too bad.
Oh. Look up Roger. So Chris is looking this up here.
Sorry, we're looking this up, guys. Bear with us for a moment.
The computer sucks.
I'm going to look for a list of Super Bowl appearances. Okay. Yep, we got them all. Every single one of them. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys. So he will be the 8th man to do that. And he'll have at least 2 wins.
He's at least...
And he's not an MVP yet, but I'm going to tell you right now, to make an argument that he's better than Jim Kelly already, not to be rude to Jim. He'll be better than Troy Aikman.
Already is.
Listen.
Maybe Bradshaw, honestly.
I have Bradshaw higher than him. I'll have mine. But Bradshaw won MVP. He won MVP.
Regular season MVP.
People discount that, but Bradshaw's a better quarterback than people think. and Staubach was a damn good quarterback. But all those guys, I mean, you're talking Brady, you're talking Montana, Peyton Manning, and Elway. Those are in basically everyone's top 10, if not top 5, correct?
Correct. So Ben, if Pittsburgh wins on Sunday, Ben's going to be in very, very elite company. And Pittsburgh, I got news for you, can win up here on Sunday. We're going to get into the game this weekend.
When we come back.
Back after this on Chris and Cash on Shattered Reality Radio. Chris O'Keefe, Scotty LeCash are back with you on Shattered Reality Radio, the
Chris and Cash podcast.
Thank you, sir. So we're going to get into the games of the weekend, and we're going to wrap it up there. Starting the NFC. Green Bay at Atlanta.
Green Bay at Atlanta.
Green Bay is getting 5.5. The over/under 61. I'm taking the under.
I'm taking the over. I get the total at 62 points.
I have mine at 60 exactly, so I guess I'm taking the under.
I'm taking the over.
Here's how I see this game shaping out.
Okay.
Green Bay has an okay pass rush.
Yeah.
Not devastating, right?
No.
Their secondary is horrendous.
Basically.
I think they're 30th in the league.
Atlanta's going to destroy them. Atlanta has a great O-line. They have a great receiving core, especially including their running backs. They have a great running game in general. Matt Ryan's playing phenomenal. Harder than any other quarterback. I'm picking Atlanta.
I got Atlanta, I can't even read my own right, 36-24.
I got them 34-28. I'm just going to go through real quick the injury report. Already out for the Packers is James Starks, not a huge deal. And J.C. Treader, he's just a center/guard. He's not a starter anyways.
As we've said, Jordy Nelson is still up in the
Jordy Nelson's questionable with ribs, and he's also sick and was sent home with an illness. So that just adds more fuel to the possible not playing, especially considering maybe they would have kept him around if he was playing. Who knows? Devontae Adams has a bad ankle. He may not play. If neither one of them can play or they're both hobbled, that's going to be a big deal. That's their two best wide receivers. Those are both Pro Bowl alternates. Those are good players. Very good players. Those guys are both better than any pass catcher right now the Patriots have. Honestly. Better than anyone left in the playoffs minus Antonio Brown and Julio Jones.
Probably.
So, that's big. Geronimo Allison also has a hamstring issue. Morgan Burnett might not play with a quad. And Quentin Rollins has a neck concussion. We'll see. We'll see.
You get the Falcons up there?
Get the Falcons. No one's questionable. No one. Babineau's off the list.
Even
Taylor
Jones.
Gabriel's off the list. Julio Jones is fine. And Keanu O'Neal, fine. They all came off the list. They got no one listed on their injury report. So
I don't think Green Bay is going to be able to slow Atlanta down. So I think Atlanta's going to put up their points. I think Rodgers is going to have to abandon the run game and play catch up.
he's been doing that anyways.
I know
More
that.
so than I think he should. Their run game isn't that bad. I mean, people always go, Patriots have a better running game than Green Bay.
They do.
They do, but Green Bay averages more yards per carry. And I think if Green Bay actually tried to establish the run a little bit more,
He has to set up the run.
yeah, they would not have a poor total run game. I know a lot of the running that they do is Rodgers and blah, blah, blah. But Ty Montgomery's been fine. He looks good running the ball.
Where's Eddie Lacy?
Eddie Lacy's like dead or something. I forget. He's on IR, but he's like too fat. He's eating cheeseburgers. But he actually came in shape, decent shape this year. But
By the way, you sticking to your New Year's resolution?
to what?
Lose weight?
I've been losing weight.
I could tell.
I'm down 10 pounds.
I could tell.
I'm down 10 motherfucking
I
pounds.
think I gained 10
The
pounds.
funny thing, though, is I went to the doctor this week, and I had been sick over the weekend last weekend. We had a stomach bug, so
I
tomorrow.
got your texts.
So we canceled the
I
babies.
didn't get any like texts when I was down there
You got mine?
from the group. No, but like I saw the ones earlier today when you're like, oh, I was sick as a dog.
Yeah, but so I go to the doctor. I'm down 7 pounds since the last time I was there, like 6 weeks ago. He was like, "You're doing great." I wanted to be like, "Dude, all I did was throw up all weekend. Like, what do you want?" Like, I'm picking Falcons. I don't know if I said the score already. 34-28.
Yeah, I got 36-24.
So I think the Pack will score touchdowns, but I think Atlanta's just going to score more often and move the ball more often.
See, I see Atlanta getting ahead like 20-3, like early. Rodgers has to throw every down, and I think, the majority of their points are going to come in garbage time when Atlanta already has it put away.
That could be.
So I think the Falcons are going to be making their second Super Bowl appearance.
And Matty Ice moving on to the Super Bowl according to Chris and Cash.
And just keep in mind, I think Kurt Warner in '99 was the last regular season MVP to also win the Super Bowl.
I believe that's correct.
So
I've actually
that
thought
jinx could
that
end.
many of the MVPs. Every year Tom Brady wins the MVP, I'm like, shit, we're gonna lose. Let's get to the game we all actually care about.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh at New England.
Pittsburgh's getting 6.
Which I am not surprised by. And the over-under is 51.
Over-under is 51.
I'm picking the over.
Everyone's got the over.
I'm going to get 58.
Yeah.
It's odd because I don't know why the over-under is so low. I would have expected it to be at least 55. Even with the Patriots defense and how neither the Steelers nor the Patriots looked great on offense last week, these defenses suck compared to the offenses, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Patriots defense is the best scoring, but
this is like an oxymoron Patriots team, and what I mean by that is their offense has kind of taken a step back as far as like explosiveness, even though they're still a very good offense, and their defense has gotten better.
Well, throughout the season, you mean?
They're like a polar opposite of the 2011 team at this point.
Yeah.
2011 team could score like 50 points, but they give up like 70.
Oh, they weren't that lucky. They gave up 80. But the point is, their offense is still more talented.
Yeah.
That's still the unit you'd say is better on paper.
The offense is banged up, though. No Gronk.
Yeah.
Bennett,
we're going to get into that.
Bennett's got the knee.
Ready? These are the questionables for the Patriots.
Go ahead.
Amendola, Bennett, Brandon Bolden, Dante Hightower, Chris Hogan, Malcolm Mitchell, Jabal Shared. There's a lot of big fucking names there. That's 2 of your best defensive players. I mean, Hightower might be your best. I mean, I'm not sure he is. But
I do think all those guys are going to play.
I know, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4 of your pass catchers and 3 of your wide receivers. And Martellus Bennett, who sometimes looks like he can't even play. I mean, he's gotten through it, but he's injured. He's been injured all year.
Yeah, you can't ride him though because he's
injured.
Getting out there. I know.
Yeah, I'm not mad at him. I'm just saying he's injured.
Yeah,
playing better than Gronk does injured, but he's still not playing well.
Right.
So, what are you gonna do? And the Pittsburgh Steelers. Injuries.
They're dealing with the flu bug, by the way. Get ready for flu game.
But
Goodell will make that.
All those illnesses got dropped off the injury report. But Ladarius Green, James Harrison, and that could be a big one. But he's gonna play. Come on.
Yeah.
And especially that dude. He's juicing up right now as we speak. And Fitzgerald Toussaint has a concussion.
He just ordered like a gallon of that deer antler spray shit. Are you kidding me?
Oh, dude, he's with Andy Pettit right now. And Andy Pettit's like, just remember, if they ever catch you, and he's like hitting the needle, he's like, if they ever catch you, just admit to it and say you did it because you were injured.
Yeah, but then he'll say like, yeah, that doesn't work with Goodell, bro.
Well, Matt, he can retire anyways. Dude's like 39 years old.
That's true.
He actually is 39, James Harrison.
That is true.
That's why when Ray Lewis healed that well, or the way that this man's playing right now at 39, James Harrison looks like a juice head. Looks like a little a meathead sitting in a Peabody gym just juicing up all day. Do you disagree?
No.
That man probably just lives off steroids. Steroids and protein. I'm just saying.
You got a score for the Pat? I know you do. Give me a score.
I think Pittsburgh's going to win.
I know.
And you're going to ask for my justification? I'm going to tell you I don't have any.
He wants to be the anti-Fred Smerlas.
Yeah, I want to reverse jinx this, but I really don't have a justification. Other than I know that it's going to be hard to stop Pittsburgh, and it's just a gut feeling. Everything in my head, and when I play it out a lot of times, says the Patriots should win. But they're at home.
Right.
They got Brady never plays 2 stinkers or clunkers in a row in the playoffs. So he never has. You can look it up. He never has two of them in a row.
He has a good game and then a bad game.
He'll have a good game and a bad game, but he never has 2 bad games in a row.
Unless you want to count 09 and 10, but they were 2 different
years.
Seasons.
They don't count. They have to same seasons only. That's the only way to count playoffs.
That was 2 stinkers in a row, though.
Yeah. Well, it was. Well, 2010 wasn't as bad as people make out. I mean, Algie Crumpler dropped touchdown. A few other things happened in that game, but I was there at that game, and I can tell you right now, Brady was yelling at all the receivers like, "Why aren't you fucking running the right routes?" Like Gronk and Hernandez looked totally perplexed by the offense. But Brady would be like, "Go do this," and then they'd be like, and fall over. And he's like, "What are you doing?"
Well, if you remember that game, they clogged the middle and they didn't have any outside threats, so they really
but Brady kept trying to adjust Gronk and Hernandez, and I haven't seen Brady that mad, especially live and being at a game, since he was at Joey Galloway. When Joey Galloway gave up on a play where Brady threw the pass, so it would have been a touchdown.
You could hear it on TV.
Like 5 yards to the left of where Galloway was running, but Galloway had stopped.
You could hear him on TV.
Yeah, and Brady was just fucking ripping him. And I was four rows in the corner of the end zone. Brady was just ripping him.
My little cousin, I was like giving him earmuffs.
Yeah,
I'm like,
ripping him.
Right.
I hadn't seen Brady that mad. He was at Gronk and Hernandez that day, trying to move them around the field, yelling like, "What are you guys doing?" Basically, like
Hernandez probably got in his face and said,
Hernandez was like, "I'll fucking murder you, bro."
I've done that before.
So you stabbed my dad.
So we have no way of proving this. You're just going to have to take our word for it. I gave Chris a pen. I took the pen. We wrote down our scores without looking.
Same score.
I picked 30. I picked
Patriots.
31-27, and I picked New England.
I picked 31-27 Pittsburgh.
And I'm going to tell you why.
All right, you tell me why, because I don't even want to justify my pick.
That's true. They're at home. Pittsburgh struggled on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Ben still isn't 100%.
Agree with that.
Ben still isn't 100%.
Plus, he's had a bad road.
They had bad
road.
games on the road. Kansas City held them to 6
They're in
field
somewhat
goals.
disarray with the Brown stuff and him being an airhead.
I think that's overrated. I'll be honest. I think that and the flu are overrated. Look, if you're asking me a scale 1 to 100 as a factor, maybe a 2.
Okay, but those things add up, dude. You're on the road. You're not.
Then why are you picking them?
You're not concentrated. Okay. The Patriots are great at stuff in the run. I mean, who's probably the most disciplined team in the league?
The Patriots.
Okay.
They don't give up.
Why is Le'Veon Bell great at running?
He's patient.
He's patient and has great vision. So what he does is he goes and moseys over to a couple holes, and then he waits for someone to fuck up and pick a gap that isn't their gap, and then he runs through the gap that's open. You know what the Patriots don't do? That. They don't have 3 men running in one gap.
Here's why I think the Patriots are going to win.
Still picking Pitt.
All right, I got the Pats by 4 because I think Pittsburgh. By the way, if Pittsburgh comes up here and win, I'm not going to be shocked at all. This is the one team I told you all year.
It's just a feeling.
That scares me.
I agree with you. It's just a feeling. I don't know why.
But here's why I think the Patriots are going to win. The home road thing I already went over. Tom Brady never has 2 stinkers in a row, as you said. The formula to beat Brady, and it's been proven, the blueprint is physical, big defensive lines and getting pressure up the middle, clogging the middle. Pittsburgh can't do that. All right, they have a couple of edge rushers. I understand that.
Oh, Pat's going to run all over him.
The Pats are going to be able to run the ball. I think Blunt rushed for 130 when they played them in Pittsburgh. Same defense. I know they're playing better. It's the same defense, same personnel.
Yeah.
Also, too,
a lot more sacks.
like you've said before, Pittsburgh never changes what they're doing. So when Brady gets that initial look, that's a look he's essentially going to get the rest
Pittsburgh
of it.
is very stubborn.
They're very stubborn,
the way they
very
play.
well put.
And Belichick's the exact opposite because he's an amoeba. He's like, we're going to do whatever it takes to change our game plan for this opponent.
So I think the offensive line gives Brady time. He's going to find guys open. They're going to be able to get open over the middle. And knock on wood, Hogan's ready to go.
I'm just worried. Say Hogan's not well.
Hey, well,
and say Bennett looks like he did last week. And then you're sitting there relying on Floyd and Edelman.
Hey, we're just going to...
Mitchell can't play.
Shoot up. I don't know what you want me to say.
Amendola, I mean, I think Brady missed Amendola a couple times. He had a touchdown pass he could have thrown to him.
He did.
A couple other times he could have thrown him the ball. Amendola dropped one, I think, which is very odd for him. He's not Julian Edelman.
On the other side of the ball, Pittsburgh obviously is a great offense.
Yeah.
We know this. They have an elite quarterback. They have an elite running back. They got the best receiver on the planet. I think
the best running back on the planet.
He's up there. He's got to be in the conversation.
I think Elliott's not even... I think Elliott's the 4th best running back, probably. 3rd or 4th.
I think Bill...
David Johnson and Le'Veon Bell.
I think Bill is going to challenge his front 7 to stop the run. I don't think he's going to have an extra guy in the box.
Well, this is what I think he's going to do defensively. I'm just going to tell you.
I'm trying to justify my score here. You're like, this is what I think.
This is what he's going to do defensively. He's going to double Antonio Brown.
No, he's gonna put Butler on Brown. He's gonna bracket him over the middle with McCourty in case
he's gonna double Antonio Brown.
McCourty. He's gonna bracket him in,
and then he's gonna basically not completely, but stack the box slightly while doubling Brown and make Ben beat them and the Pittsburgh Steelers beat them,
which he can
with other receivers.
Which he can.
I'm not saying they can't.
Which is scary.
I'm not saying they can't.
But that's what
I'm picking Pitt to win. I'm not happy about it. I'm not justifying it. I'm not liking it. I'm not even saying it's a smart pick.
The Patriots win.
It's just a feeling.
If the Patriots win 38-10, you're gonna be like, I knew all along they were gonna win.
I just was saying that because I was scared. I already told you that is part of it. Like now, if Pitt wins, I can be like, well, at least I picked him. Hey, you picked Seattle to win the Super Bowl a couple years ago. I mean, you were going back and forth like a motherfucker, but you picked Seattle to win the Super Bowl.
Well, it was a pick 'em, and it went down to literally the last play of the game.
I know, but Scotty was just like, oh, my God, they're going to lose. Seattle's going to beat them. I don't understand. They're going to lose. And I was like, Scotty, we're here because we do wings for rings if they make it to the Super Bowl.
Which we
so we go out and we will have wings to make to celebrate a possible Super Bowl. And we do it ahead of time. You know, we just go, it's wings for rings. And Scotty's just said wings for rings, and he's freaking out. They're going to lose. They're going to lose this game.
It was the day before the game on a Saturday. I do have to say one thing, though, a couple things. In our email chain that Friday, when we were asked the final score, I picked the Patriots. I think I picked them 24-20.
Well, if you remember, I told you I wanted Seattle over Green Bay. I was scared of Aaron Rodgers. I said he's a bad, bad man, and I wanted Seattle even though people thought it was a bad matchup. I'm like, listen, you can beat this team.
You can go look this up. I picked the Patriots over Seattle that Friday. But you're right. By Saturday, I was like, oh.
You changed your mind.
I flip-flopped.
You're like, got me so aggravated.
Then I woke up on Sunday and I was like, you know what? They're going to win. But I was going back and forth every 5
You told me
minutes.
you almost had a heart attack. You almost threw up. You were like all over the place.
I did throw up that Saturday. Because if they had lost that one, I'm like, they're never winning it again. So, like, this is their best shot.
I already told you. At that point, I had put Brady as the greatest ever.
Yeah, the fourth one.
He made
He
six Super
needed
Bowls.
to win the fourth
6
one.
Super Bowls with 3 rings would have been enough for me.
But if the Patriots get ahead early,
Making the Super Bowl and losing is not a demerit.
if the Patriots get ahead early, unless Bell is getting yardage in chunks, Ben's going to have to throw, which is going to take Bell out of the game. That's what I think.
Well, the best thing I can say about this is when Pittsburgh runs, it's good for the Patriots because they're not throwing it. When Pittsburgh passes, it's good for the Patriots because they're not running it. Okay? As long as you can try to stop something reasonably well, say la vie.
We really should like find him on Saturday and like smoke weed with him and get him suspended.
Smoke weed with him. I'd be like, dude, you just smoke angel dust, Holmes. Get them all fucked up.
All right, so we're going to call it a wrap. Thanks for tuning in. Check us out on www.gamesofvinches.com on Shattered Reality.
This will be
Radio.
on our Yahoo. This will be on our YouTube account. This podcast will also be on our SoundCloud, and I think we've also been on iTunes recently. So we're branching out. Check us out. Shattered Reality Radio. We're out.
Like and share, and hopefully the next time we talk to you, we're going to be talking about the Patriots and their opponent in Super Bowl 51.
Ring 5.